warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello, dear viewers. Welcome to our fifth episode in our first season. And today, inshallah, with my sister, we are going to talk about the struggle in Deen. We know that Islam has given us a perfect way of life, alhamdulillah. And we also acknowledge that we are human beings, and as we strive to live according to how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has told us to, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam has emphasized, sometimes we sleep, and alhamdulillah we are good in some forms of ibadah and manners, and we are also weak in some forms of ibadah and manners as well. So inshallah today we are going to talk about how we can help ourselves as we struggle in ibadah, and these are practical things that myself and my sister here have used in our lives, and we thought of sharing this with you, our viewers. So we classify struggle in Deen into two parts. The first way of struggling is struggling in ibadah, and when we talk about struggling in ibadah here, we are talking about us struggling in salah, in reading Quran, in sadaqah, and so on. And when we talk about struggling, the second category is struggling with bad habits like backbiting, addiction such as pornography, drugs, and so many other things that inshallah we are going to list down in as we give you the ways of coping up with the struggles that we encounter in Deen. So Zaytun, what are some of the ways that we can use as we struggle in ibadah or in Deen generally?
Okay, I think when it comes to we all struggle, like you say. It's not easy and it's not hard. It doesn't mean it cannot be overcome, whatever it is you're struggling. Because Islam, like you said, has given us the perfect way of life that we're supposed to be following, for the sunnah way of life. And as humans, and in this, especially in the recent modern times, it's very hard because there's so many distractions and there's a lot of fitna, so it's hard to focus.
But it's possible.
But it is possible. It's very possible. So I think it depends on what you're struggling with. When it comes to maybe that you just generally you have to acknowledge that you are struggling. You want to move forward. You have to internalize that. You have to keep that in mind, that I want to move from this place to this place, and this is why I want to do it. So acknowledging and analyzing what it is that you want to move from. If you're moving forward, maybe you want to pray more. You've just been praying the fard salah, you want to do the sunnah. You've just been fasting Ramadan only, you want to fast sunnah. It's something that you have to acknowledge. I want to do this because of this. So first of all, acknowledging and analyzing the thing that you want to do, and if it's something that you want to do and you've held back by something, for example, you want to put on hijab, you want to stop using drugs, backbiting. So you look at what is stopping you from doing that, what is stopping you from stopping that, So you just analyze and accept the fact that I am doing this and I want to move from this. I think that's the first step towards it.
Yeah, alhamdulillah, that was well explained. And then the second thing, after acknowledging that you are struggling with something, the second thing is for you to seek knowledge about what you're struggling. Okay, let's say you're struggling with hijab, and may Allah grant us ease with this for those who are struggling, and for us who are struggling with something else. So read stories of people who are struggling with hijab and they overcame that struggle. And then another thing, also read about the rewards and the rationale behind us Muslim women wearing hijab, and then be around people that love the hijab and encourage you to wear the hijab.
Yes. People who won't discourage you, people who won't tell you that you want to look religious, people who won't tell you that you're pretending to be a good Muslim.
Exactly. So seek knowledge, and I think we in explaining that, we just brought in another point, which is company. In giving an example of hijab, we just gave another explain another
I think
point.
before we go to that, you know, when you're seeking knowledge, there's two kinds of seeking knowledge. I would like to say, seeking knowledge, knowing the benefit of what you're doing, you know, actually knowing why you are doing it, and then you knowing like why have you been commanded to do it. And what good would it bring to you.
Exactly.
So that's very important. Even when you're reading story, if you're keeping good company and you're reading stories of people who will be struggling with it, but get to know why. You know, there's so many Islamic books that have, especially the Islamic ruling books, you know, we have a book that explains why we have certain rulings. So if you get to read such kind of books, I think you can put them in the description below. So if you get to read such kind of books, you know, it gives you the motivation to keep on keeping on, regardless of what people say.
I remember there's a friend of mine that approached me, and then he asked me a question of why I am so certain about practicing something, and for him he was shaky about the practice. And then I told him, if you want to be sure about something you practice, then you have to have knowledge about it. Know the benefits of doing it, and know the side effects of not doing it.
The ones that you know and the ones that you don't know.
That will make you very comfortable in practicing whatever you're practicing, seeking knowledge.
And also, I think you mentioned about company. It's very, very important. You know, like the hadith that says that, you know, the honor of I don't remember it quite well.
Like when you visit somebody who makes perfume, you're going to get the aroma, and when you visit an ironsmith, you're going to smell that smell.
So that is something that we don't, you know, we are always told, keep good friends, keep good friends, keep good friends. So we don't see the importance of keeping good friends because there's no direct effect. It's a very indirect, very subconscious effect that you don't actually get to see. So keeping a company that motivates you to actually wear hijab, if that's what you want to do, you know, moving forward, it's very essential, because at the end of the day, you'll move from point A to point B, and at point B, somebody else will be at point A, come to your company, and you move them to point C. You move together. Exactly. So it's very, very important.
We can also give the same scenario to somebody who is struggling performing the 5 daily prayers. Okay, if you struggle and you're alone, it's way difficult than when you're struggling and you have other people. So try to be in the company of those who practice the prayer. Don't be with people who, when they hear the adhan, it's when they get stimulated to play a video game, or they get stimulated to watch a movie. Be with these people who are going to alarm, even if they're far away. Let them, tell them, please give me a call.
Yeah, it's true. I like to look at the Jama'ah prayer as one of the things that motivates people to pray, because you might be struggling in whatever way, and you know you're not supposed to miss Salah, but for whatever reason that you just decide, oh, not today, which you're not supposed to. But you know, when you're praying Jama'ah, you just know, oh, the adhan is called and I have to go to the masjid, and that's it. So you just pray like 5 minutes and then you're done. It motivates you because you go there and there are people praying with you. Especially if you're struggling with that.
Okay, so that is point number 3. Point number 4 is, there's this hadith that says that the best of deeds are those that are done consistently, even if they are very, very small. So what kind of example can we give from this hadith? What kind of struggle can fit in this hadith?
Okay, so maybe I would like to give the example of Salah or Quran, reading Quran, for example. So you want to you read the Quran every day, but you want to read a juz every day. So if you don't read a juz a day, it gets to your brain like, I'm not a good Muslim, I can't do this, I can't do this. Instead of you reducing it to maybe a half a juz or a quarter, you know, it's better. You can even read like 10 ayahs a day. It's better you reading those 10 ayahs a day every single day than you reading a juz, one juz that day that you makes you feel that, oh, I can't finish this. I'm so like a very low level of iman right now. I can't do anything else about it. So just do the small things, but just do it consistently, because it's going to move you forward. It's the small things that are going to, it's actually the tiny particles. It stimulates
you to do
a bigger thing. Yes.
Especially when we look at small deeds like istighfar. Okay, Istighfar is a very minimal
Yeah, it's something that
thing,
you
but
can do.
it's very huge in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you look at it, it is something that gives you a lot of strength, because Allah promises to those who constantly seek His forgiveness that He's going to give them all kind of strength, mental strength, physical strength, spiritual
And
strength.
subhanallah, it works.
It
And
really
it's something,
works.
it's something very, very small. So these small things that you do every day, especially when it comes to adhkar, like you said,
Yeah.
when you're working, when you're doing something, I don't know, it's whatever it is that you're doing, the small, every day you just say subhanallah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah. But every single day, maybe when you're when you're going to your workplace, or maybe you're walking the children to school, just those small things that help you move forward.
Yeah.
It's very, very good.
Okay, I remembered another example, struggling with salah. Okay, if you're struggling to pray the nafila, you can tell yourself, like, I'll make sure before I sleep I pray one rakah of witr.
Yeah, or
Only
even,
one
yes,
rakah.
yes, yes.
Or you just tell yourself that I'll make sure of all nafilas, I'll make sure I never miss the nafila of Salatul Fajr.
Yes.
And then you pray that constantly, and the next time you don't even realize you've started praying other nafilas. Or when you're struggling to read the Quran, start reading your favorite surah in the Quran. We know every surah is good, but there's that surah that you just love it. Keep reading it, and then the next time you realize you've opened another page and you're reading a whole juz, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So another, I think whatever we were talking about is how we can handle struggle in ibadah.
Yeah.
The second way is how to handle struggle with bad habits. Okay. The first I don't know. The first way you can help yourself when you are struggling with bad habits is, if the bad habits if you see yourself doing that bad habit when you are alone, then avoid being in private. Let's say you are addicted to watching pornographic movies or videos. Make sure whenever you're watching on your PC or even on TV, make sure you have somebody around, somebody that you know they can tell you stop, or you know that you can never do something like that in front of you. Or let's say you are struggling with let's say boyfriend girlfriend relationships, and it is your phone that links you to the other people and you really want to quit it. One thing you can do, take the password out of your phone. Take that password out of your phone. Try to, whenever you make calls, try to make the calls, put the calls on loudspeaker. It will really help you. Like, it's not that you're doing so that other people can see you, that you're holy or something else, but it protects you from your own nerves, because the nerves will always drive you into sin.
With habits, it's a gradual thing. It's not something that you see a direct effect. So and apart from the fact that it's a bad thing you're doing, you're going to be punished by Allah at the end of it all, there is the effect on your soul. It darkens your soul every single day. So every single day is going to be harder and harder. You trying to move out of it is going to be harder than the previous day, because you're keeping on doing it every single day. And another thing about habits is, there's a cycle of habits. Why habits happen the way they do, why we form habits. You always have a trigger. There's something that triggers you to do something. For example, drugs. Most people who are doing drugs, they have a trigger, even though they don't notice it. So there's something that triggers you to do the drugs, and then now you fall into the routine of doing whatever it is that you're doing, because there's a reward after that, the feeling that you get after it. So whatever it is you have, like whatever bad habit you have, and this is a personal favorite from a book I read about the power of habits. So you just identify a trigger, why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. The routine is you doing the action, and the reward is what you get after that. So what you do is you replace the habit, with something that gives you an equally good reward. So it's the same trigger, but the routine is different. So you change it into something that's
It reminded me of a very good example, of myself. I used to struggle with music, so alhamdulillah, there is something that you always get by listening to music. So how I replaced it, I substituted the secular music with nasheed. At first I really used to struggle, like struggle listening to these to the vocals. I never felt the
Yeah.
how you feel when you listen to the nasheeds with instrument.
Yeah.
So I started with listening to the nasheeds with instruments, and then alhamdulillah I gradually went to liking vocals and spoken word by Muslim. So it is something, as you said, you have to know the trigger and the routine and
the reward that
comes after it, and then replace it automatically. Alhamdulillah. Do you have another point?
I think when I want to say if most of these things are connected to your iman. Iman rises and falls, like we all know. But when it comes to sometimes the iman is, you just feel like you're not yourself. You're not a good Muslim. You're not that. One thing I would like to advise, it's an instant iman booster, is fasting. Whenever you're feeling like you're struggling with something, you just don't know what to do, just fast that day and pray to Allah. Just pray that He helps you with whatever it is you're struggling, and subhanallah, after that day you just feel like you're a much better person. So that's all I would like to say. I hope you benefited from this video. And
there's something I remembered. Okay, as we were preparing for the video, we were talking about struggling with backbiting. And then there's a way you can stop yourself from backbiting. And the first thing is you remembering the punishment of the person who backbites, and even the similitude of a person who backbites being that of a person eating the flesh of their dead brother. So whenever you want to backbite or slander someone, remember that whatever you want to do is equally to you eating the flesh of your fellow brother. And then putting a stopper to the people who want to bring up the backbiting. Like, tell them, can we please talk about something else? That is really going to help. And also company, keeping away from people that are going to make you fall into action of backbiting. So that is all for today, guys, and we hope this video was of benefit to you, because it was very beneficial to us. Ma salama.
Ma salama.